Welcome everyone to what will be, one way or the other, the last game of the summer season for the Jackals here today on Jackals TV. This game took place on August 22nd and is the finals for the playoffs between the Jackals and the Royals. You see the Jackals there on the left in the white, Royals on the right in the blue. Strangely, this is the matchup between the two worst teams in the regular season for the summer. The Jackals finishing 5th and the Royals finishing 6th, but both of these teams have gone undefeated so far here in the playoffs to run into each other here in the final. These teams met 3 times in the regular season, the Jackals winning once, the Royals winning twice. The first 2 games close games, but the third one was an 11-1 victory for the Royals in the final regular season game of the season, so they will definitely be coming into this one with some confidence. Let's have a look at the lineup that the Jackals will be icing here today. 2 scratches for the Jackals. Jay Lawrence remains injured as he was for the semifinal game, and Jason Davis is out of the lineup with a prior commitment. So let's head to the first period and see how this one goes. The Jackals will be looking to get through this finals game without Old Full, the banana peel, showing up, but right away early in this game it shows up to claim a victim, Rob going down. But the game does continue and got that out of the way. So here we come. Royals coming in on the right. Shot up high off the post and out the other side. That player then throws it to the front and Trevor pushes it past that defender who was waiting in front for it. Next up, we see the Gary connection get at it. There's Gary Pablo with an interception. He's going to feed Gary Mizuno on this side, who then backhands it back to Gary Pablo right on his stick, and he fans on it. And there was a good chance for the Jackals to open the scoring. Face off back in the Jackals zone, and Jer swings at it once and then backhands it on the net, and that turns into a mad scramble in front, but Trevor keeps it out. Here's another defensive zone face-off for the Jackals. This time they lose it, and that results in a chance that goes over the net, and then there's a chance at the side of the net to get shoveled on and turned aside. Arshawn bats that puck loose in front. That player directs it. Now watch in front. Troy's tangled up with one of the Royals players who comes back at Troy and takes a penalty. So the Jackals are going to go to the power play, a 4-minute power play here in the first period, in an attempt to open the scoring. Pass across to Bob, who's going to take it up the right side, bobble it a bit, but give it back to Gary Mizuno, who's going to find David in the middle of the ice. He walks into the ringette line and rips a slap shot past the blocker, and a power play goal by the Jackals gives them an early lead here in the finals. It's now 1-0. So because it was a 4-minute power play, the power play continues. Here's Gary Pablo. He's going to put that puck to Aaron, and rather than hitting his stick, it hits his foot, and it bounces back to Gary, who takes a gamble to try and keep it in. Can't do so. It's going to result in a mini breakaway down the left side, and somehow that player picks some space above the blocker on Trevor. It's a shorthanded goal. It's now 1-1. And the power play still continues. Here's Rob setting up. He's going to find Bob across the right side, who's going to put it down low to John, who's going to see David walking in. Maybe David's looking for a second power play goal, but it gets deflected up over the net. So still, power play again continuing. Bob's going to again put it over to David. He's going to take that shot pass down low to Darshan. He can't quite slide it across to the open player on the back door, so it's going to get turned over to the Royals player, and you see their player stepping out of the box to end that penalty. And there's a shot that gets ripped off the post. Stays out, so it's still 1-1. Period is winding down, just 1:20 left in the period, so we'll see how much more we can get in here as this player is working in the corner, trying to spin off Bob. Bit of a hold there, but he gets away with it. And that player is going to get the puck back, though, and then he's going to walk towards the front and just chunk it towards the net, and it slips by on the glove hand side past Trevor. And the Royals have erased that 1-goal deficit and turned it into a 1-goal lead here. Still going here, though, in this first period. Now less than a minute left. Puck's getting worked down below the net. And there you see David get a hook on that player who falls down. So that's going to be a penalty to the Jackals here in the last minute of the first period. Power play working. You see the clock now at 30 seconds. Working around below and a wrap around. Trevor makes a nice save. And as that player digs at it, watch Gary come over and swat the stick out of his hand. Say, you keep that stick away from my goalie's glove. Rightfully so. Still here in the first period. They win this face-off. Player's going to circle around with it. And he's going to cut across the middle. Find his way through. Shovel it on net. But Trevor makes a save. Directs it harmlessly to the corner. And we finally make it to the second period. And the Royals are looking to extend their lead here in the second. Watch that player going hard to the net. Rob's going to come up behind him, give him a bit of a shove, and he runs into the net, pushing the net off by about 3 or 4 inches. Rob and Bob are yelling at the referee that the net is off. This player from the point takes a shot, and it goes in up high. kind of where the net was actually off. So the net being off might have actually contributed to that going in. You see Trevor looking over his shoulder, wondering how it went in. Ref comes in, notices the net is off, so he waves it off, and it's going to remain a 2-1 game under some mild protest there by the Royals. But once they are pointed out that the net was clearly off, the goal is going to get washed out. So here they are trying to come now, look for that third goal. There's a turnover, and a guy walks in, and then the rebound hops over that player's stick. Royals continue to press. This player goes through on the right. Now watch Gary, who's going to come out and get this puck, Gary Pabla. He's going to bounce it up off the wall, and then the camera's going to leave him. And something is going to happen here off screen, down low, where we can't see, when the Royals are coming back in. And by the time the camera comes back, you see the referee's arm is in the air, and Gary's going to head to the box. So the Jackals are now killing a penalty. But they won't be killing it for long. Watch Bob on the side there. As Jer is engaged with that player and he brings the stick around over Jer's head, he comes down on top of Bob's head. So that's a high sticking penalty for the Royals. A 4-minute power play. It's going to be 4-on-4 hockey for a bit. And the Royals are going to come in 2-on-1, and the pass is going to get through, and that player's all alone in front. He tries to go low blocker, but Trevor keeps the leg down and makes a nice save to send that to the corner. Stays 2-1. Here's Troy picking that puck up on the side. He throws it towards the net, and the goalie has to reach out and just barely gets that with either his toe or his stick. And the Jackals are now on the power play. Here's a puck that's going to get put over to David, who takes the slap shot. It bounces up the wall, and then Stewart directs it towards the net, and the rebound lays in the goalie's feet for Jared to shovel over his arm. And the Jackals have tied this up on their second power play goal of the game here by Jeremy. With time winding down, the Jackals are going to look to get the lead back. The lead they had early in this game, 1-0. There's a nice little pass from Gary. It's a Gary connection again, up to Mizuno. He rips that high over the glove, and it hits the crossbar, just under the crossbar. Looked like Gary thought it was in. You can see him stick his arm up in the air. He's appealing to the referee that it hits the bottom of the crossbar and stays out. So we go to the third. 2-2 here in this deciding game for the championship. And here's a turnover that Gary Pabla's going to race down the right side. He's going to shoot it on net. He's going to chase the rebound. He gets it. He tries to go around, but he gets poked off the stick before he can slide that into the empty net. Royals now searching for that lead again. This player just barely keeps it onside, shovels it across to that player who's going to come down the left side. He sees somebody backdoor, passes it across, but that player misses it, so it goes harmlessly to the corner. Now here comes number 8, up the middle. He's going to weave to the left, weave to the right, get around the defender, and then put a backhander up there, but a nice blocker save by Trevor to keep it out, keep this game tied. Royals coming in waves now, coming down the left side. They pass it up front of that player, jams it on net. One save there, and the rebound can't be found. So now it's the Jackals, after a couple of nice saves by Trevor to keep him in it, coming back the other way. Aaron shoots that puck, and it's tipped, which creates a rebound on the left side that Jared dives for. Doesn't quite get. Stewart had a swing at it too, and now Stewart is going to pick up that pass directed towards the net. There's a save off to the corner. It's not over. Puck gets put down low by Troy, and it's going to come out front again to Stewart, and he does well to get a backhand shot off as he's falling. So 3 good attempts there by Chris Duhar. It remains tied. So Royals on the attack. Watch Johnny on the back check here, and as that number 86 is about to get it, John puts his stick across his player. Now watch 86 come back and send Bob's stick to the rafters. In that spot, that looks like an interference penalty, but it's only going to be John that gets a penalty there. So to the penalty kill, the Jackals go here late in this game in the third period. There's a shot, and it was tipped towards the net. A nice save by Trevor. Power play continues. Jackals desperately trying to hang on to this tie game here. Puck's going to get almost out there, and it is now. Darryl's going to chase it down the ice. He's got an opportunity here, shorthanded, trying to cut hard towards the net, and he's eventually going to throw it out front here, just on the wrong side of John's stick. If John was right-handed there, he would have had a good chance to tap that in. So then the puck's going to come back the other way. 4-on-1. There's a shot up high. There was a goal, first goal of the game for the Royals. It was exactly like that, but this time Trevor makes the save. As you can see, the power play is still on the board, and the Royals are working around. There's only a few seconds left here. The Jackals have almost got themselves out of this jam, and it's going to end up on this player, Stuck, who walks in and throws the puck towards the net, and it's past the blocker. And you can see Trevor complaining there because that player was in the crease area, but the referee is going to let it go despite the arguments against it, and it's now 3-2 for the Royals. So despite having what seemed to be a legitimate claim, the Jackals are going to have to go back to work and try to tie this game up. But instead, this puck's going to come the other way. 96 is going to find it, and he's going to find the back of the net. And again, there's a player in the crease. But at this time, the referee considers it and waves it off, although he probably should have waved them both off He does get this one right. There's going to be a lot of discussion about it. You'll remember the waved off goal for the net off earlier in the game. This should be the third waved off goal. It is just the second one. And now there's a disagreement as to where the faceoff should be. After a goalie interference, it typically would be outside the blue line. You can see Aaron talking to the referee about it, but he cites the rule book, and the fake rule book it is, and drops the puck there. And immediately after the puck is dropped, that goes in the net. And now it's 4-2 for the Royals off of an illegally placed faceoff. So we're going to cut to center ice, and the referee is reconsidering his decision. He's asking for assistance from the office. He's getting the timekeeper to call into the office to see where that faceoff should have been. Clearly, it should have been outside of the blue line after a goalie interference waved off goal. And after enough deliberation, they are going to wave off their third goal of the game and have a faceoff at center. But let's check in how the crowd is handling this.
Smithies, are they booing me?
No, they're saying Boo Earns. Boo Earns.
Are you saying boo or boo earns? I was saying boo earns.
So the Jackals with yet another reprieve. Can they find the back of the net to tie this game? There's a big block by Rob to send that to the corner to keep the dream alive. And then another one where he sweeps in to block that pass before Trevor can cover it up. So just a minute left in this game. There you see Trevor heading to the bench. Can the Jackals tie this up? They have the puck on the left, and Daryl's the one who comes on for Trevor. He picks it up. He throws it towards the net. Bob tips it. It's going through the goaltender's legs, and it catches the inside of his pad and stays out. And there's a couple more chances there as David gets a shot from the point, but you can see after the tip was done, the puck is there in the goalie's feet. Bob thinks it's in until he sees it sitting there. He swats it off to the left, and it's just out of the reach of those two players. I think that's Air and John over there. They can't reach it to swipe it into the net. And this game is going to end with that 3-2 score as we see the final seconds of this game wear down. The Jackals can't keep it in to generate one more chance. This player is just going to dump that towards the net. And a close game, but a disappointing loss here in the final for the Jackals, and the Royals will take the championship. So while the run end was disappointing, it was nice that the Jackals made it all the way to the finals despite finishing in 5th place in the regular season. Here we see the stats in that game: a goal and assist from David, an excellent outing here in this game. Another goal there from Jer. Another great night in net for Trevor. And we'll have a quick look at the final stats for the playoffs. You see Brad and Jeremy tied at the top of the table. Gary Mizuno right behind them there with 3 assists. And just look at Trevor's numbers. Full value for the run that the Jackals went on here in the playoffs. So that's it for the summer. The Royals will receive the trophy, and the Jackals will be stuck waiting until the winter season to attempt to get another trophy into their trophy cabinet. Thanks for watching with us, folks. It's a big off season, a whole 10 or 11 days before the Jackals next season will start, and we'll be here documenting it all for you. We'll see you then.